I left my husband after my sister-in-law made one joke too many and he laughed. My name's Talia. I'm 29. I've been married to James for almost 4 years now. We met in the most bizarre way, not online or through friends, but on a late train ride home when both our phones died and we ended up awkwardly sharing an old paperback someone left behind. That weird little moment became this whole thing, and somehow, here we are. It's been interesting. I'm not super social. I've got a tight little circle of people I trust and talk to regularly, but I'm not into big gatherings. My parents live a few hours away and we keep in touch, though we're not what you'd call emotionally close. We see each other on holidays and trade updates via text. James, though, his family is massive, loud, opinionated. There are so many cousins, and step this and great aunt that. I gave up trying to learn all their names. Since the beginning, there's been this thing at family gatherings. The whole Talia's so quiet, or she's too smart for us, or my personal favorite. Oh, that one always has something to say. They say it's teasing, but it always feels like there's an edge underneath. Lately, the edge is sharper, like they're waiting for me to react so they can say I'm too sensitive. So anyway, the event. James's cousin Bianca is pregnant with her first baby, so naturally, there's a baby shower. It's held at his mom's place, small house, too many people, way too hot. It's not all pink streamers and cute games. It's more of a stand around the kitchen, eat too much cheese, and complain about strollers kind of event. I show up with James, and I immediately feel it like a subtle buzz of being watched, like I'm the side character in someone else's story. I try to blend in, make small talk, text my best friend under the table, and hang out with Bianca for a bit, who's genuinely sweet and not part of the problem. And then here comes Marissa, James's sister, with her signature seltzer can and fake sincere energy. She starts in with her usual jokes, like asking if I finally learned how to cook their grandma's green bean casserole, or telling me my flats are bold, like there's some crime against footwear. I just fake a smile and hover near the back patio door, hoping to catch a breeze. Then, out of nowhere, one of James's aunts, the loud one in leopard print, I think her name's Denise, calls out in that bright, over-friendly voice, "So when are you to having a baby?" And just like that, it's silent. Every conversation stops. I feel the spotlight hit me like a truck. James knows how much I hate this question. He knows we've talked about kids being a maybe, but not now. Not when we're still figuring out if we're even happy. I told him I didn't want to have this conversation publicly, ever, but especially not now. I give a tight smile and say, "We're not in a rush," trying to play it off, move on. But James, I don't know what happened to him in that moment. Attention, ego, something darker. He lets out this bark of laughter, way too loud, and says, with her, "I'd rather get a vasectomy than raise kids with all that negativity." People laugh, like actual belly laughs, not the awkward kind, like he's a stand-up comic killing it on open mic night. Marissa throws in her bid too. She'd probably raise little critics and breastfeed them sarcasm. More laughter. I just stood there frozen. I felt exposed, humiliated. James was grinning, soaking it up. I looked at him and just said, "You're not funny." Calm, flat, no drama. And he just smirked and hit back with, "There you go again. Always so serious. No wonder I'm not signing up for dad life with you." I've never felt rage like that in my life. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just clenched my jaw so tight my teeth hurt. Marissa was still laughing like it was hilarious, and I was just standing there, a prop in someone else's joke. Someone muttered something under their breath about girls these days, and honestly, my brain just kind of short-circuited. I wasn't thinking clearly. I just needed to get out of there. I started walking toward the hallway, planning to step outside, maybe call my friend Jess, but James catches up and grabs my arm, not violently, but too firmly, like I'm a scene he's trying to stop before it starts. He says, "Where are you going? Don't start something." I yank my arm back and say, loud enough for whoever's listening, "Touch me again and you'll see what starting something looks like." He lets go, but his hand lingers a second too long. As I turn to leave, I hear his mom whisper low, but not low enough. "You need to keep your wife in check." Like I'm a broken thermostat, not a human being standing right there. I pause and lock eyes with her, just for a second. I don't say anything. because what even is there to say to that? I keep walking. Marissa tries to intercept me in the hallway, arms half outstretched like I'm going to be reasoned with. Talia, come on. You know we're just teasing. You're being dramatic. I don't even break stride. I bump into a little table with party favors and knock over a bowl of customized mints or something. She gasps like I set off fireworks, but I'm already heading for the front door. One of James's aunts couldn't tell you which one, honestly. They blur together when I'm this pissed reaches out, like she's going to stop me too. I pull away and say, "Don't. Just don't." I open the door and slam it behind me hard enough that I feel it in my chest. I can hear James's voice rising behind me, something halfway between defending himself and blaming me. I don't care enough to parse it. I get into his car, the one we came in, and just sit there for a while, shaking. I text Jess, not my sister, just a friend with the same name. I know, confusing. She replies right away, "Come over." So I drive to her place and end up in her kitchen for like 2 hours, eating leftover garlic knots and talking about anything else makeup trends, dumb YouTube drama, even her new cat's weird obsession with the toaster. I ignore my phone, but it keeps buzzing. Family group chat notifications, James's name, Marissa's, his mom. I finally turn the whole thing off and drop it in the bottom of my bag. I don't go back that night. I text my mom just so she doesn't freak out, and she replies, "Call me in the morning." She doesn't sound surprised, which should honestly tell me everything I need to know. I keep sitting there thinking, what the hell was that? I knew James could be tone deaf sometimes, but that was something else. That wasn't teasing, that was cruelty dressed up as humor. And it wasn't just him. Everyone either laughed, stayed quiet, or watched like it was some awkward episode of a reality show. Am I supposed to laugh this off? Pretend it's normal? Because I can't. I keep replaying the way he grabbed my arm, his mom calling me his wife like I'm some problem child, Marissa standing in my way like she's the hallway bouncer. It didn't feel random. It felt coordinated, like they wanted to see if I'd snap. I think James acts like this because he's embarrassed that I don't fall all over his family the way he does. He gets defensive if I call out stuff that's rude or weird. He's told me before I make things awkward by not just going along with the jokes. I think he likes playing the charming son, the golden boy, especially in front of his mom. And Marissa? I think she resents that. I don't laugh when she's fishing for compliments or cracking sarcastic digs. I don't fit her idea of what a wife in the family should be. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze them, but honestly, what other explanation is there? They act like people who are very used to being awful without consequences. I spent the night at Jess's, fell asleep on her couch with a throw blanket and her cat on my legs. When I woke up, there were over 30 unread messages in the family group chat. James tried calling twice. I didn't answer. Apparently, James's mom texted mine. That's how I know she's very disappointed in me for causing a scene. But nobody seems even slightly bothered that her golden boy humiliated me in front of 24 people. Honestly, I don't even think they register it as a big deal. I guess I'm supposed to laugh it off like they do and move on. So yeah, here I am again. Because apparently, my life is just a blur of unread group chats and tense family dynamics. Not gonna lie, I was going to wait until I had a clearer sense of what to do before talking about all this, but it's been gnawing at me since I left the baby shower. See the previous post for that disaster. I feel like if I don't write this down, I'm going to lose my mind. So, I crashed at Jess's place, and by the time I woke up, I already had notifications stacked up like a to-do list from hell. James's name, Marissa's, his mom's, even Bianca, which hurts more because she's the only one I actually liked. I hadn't even brushed my teeth yet, and it already felt like I was about to walk into a meeting where everyone's mad at me, but nobody's going to say it out loud. I opened the family group chat. Yes, it's literally called the Fam Jam, which makes me cringe every time, and of course, it's basically turned into a roast session. At first, it's James posting, asking if anyone's heard from Talia like I'm a missing cat. Then his mom jumps in with a classic passive-aggressive line. Some people just don't appreciate tradition, I suppose. And that's when the nausea hits. Like, sorry, what exactly is the tradition I failed to honor? Publicly mocking your spouse in front of extended family while everyone giggles and shoves cheese cubes into their mouths? I scroll back through the messages, and sure enough, My mom forwards me a screenshot of a message James's mom sent her directly. It's dripping with Fox concern. Maybe you could talk some sense into Talia. She's upsetting everyone and making things difficult for James. Like I'm a malfunctioning appliance and she's submitting a customer complaint. My mom, to her credit, just sends me a thumbs down emoji and says she won't respond if I don't want her to. But I can always tell that she thinks I should probably just smooth things over. She's always been a keep the peace type. Avoid conflict. Don't escalate. Smile through it. Jess, on the other hand, immediately sends me 3 TikToks about toxic in-laws and says, you should go full scorched earth. It's the first time I actually laughed since the whole mess started. I tell my mom I'm not ready to talk to James yet. She says she understands, but there's that undertone, that quiet hope I'll just go back and patch things up. My sister actual blood related this time. Not Jess's like, if you cave, I'm staging an intervention. I love her for that. She doesn't always say a lot, but when she does, she means it. She's the one reminding me I'm not crazy for being upset, that it was cruel, that it wasn't normal, no matter how many times they say it was just a joke. The thing is, I don't even know what I want from James at this point. An apology? Sure, but only if he actually means it. For him to finally get it? That feels like asking a toaster to understand why you're cold. I'm not holding my breath. And just when I think the group chat might go quiet, Marissa of course posts another meme. Some dumb image of a woman rolling her eyes with the caption, when someone can't take a joke at the family BBQ. A couple people respond with laughing emojis. One even tags me. And that's the moment I realize they don't see this as fallout from something wrong they did. They think I'm the problem, the buzzkill, the overreactor, the outsider who doesn't get it. But I do. I get it more than they think. This time, it's a stock photo of a woman rolling her eyes, overlaid with "Here comes the drama" and Comic Sans, no less. I actually grip my phone like I might snap it in half. Instead, I mute the fam jam chat and go for a walk around Jess's neighborhood, still wearing her too big hoodie and no socks. It's freezing, but I need air. That's when Marissa goes nuclear. She screenshots a private DM I sent her back when I was still trying to keep the peace and posts it in the group chat. She adds, wow, someone's off their meds. Bianca texts me a screenshot of it immediately with, I'm so sorry. That's beyond messed up. And I actually see red. I'm not even on meds. But even if I were, what kind of person weaponizes mental health like that? I don't even hesitate. I text Marissa, delete that now or I'll remind everyone what you said about your mom at Christmas. Word for word. She deletes it. I don't say anything else. I just needed her to know I'm done playing nice, that she can't keep poking me and expect silence in return. The chat goes silent for 5 whole minutes. Then James is the one who always says what everyone else is too polite to chimes in with. See, this is what I mean about outsiders not understanding how our family works. I let it go. I'm not arguing with someone who thinks cruelty counts as culture. That night, James shows up at Jess's apartment. I don't even know how he found the place. Maybe checked my location on Find My iPhone, or worse, called the building manager. He knocks, yells through the door, asks to talk. Jess doesn't open it. He eventually leaves, slamming the stairwell door so hard we hear it echo 3 floors down. I thank her. She goes, you're not seriously staying married to that guy, right? And I say, I don't know, which is both true and a lie. My mom calls again. She says she's worried, and I believe her. She doesn't know how to fix it, but she wants me to come home, get some space. My dad gets on for a second, just long enough to say, if he shows up here, I'll handle it. And weirdly, that makes me feel better. The next morning, James's mom tries going through mine again. She sends a message that reads like a disciplinary note from a high school principal. Maybe if you talk to Talia, she'll realize how unfair she's being to James and the rest of us. I pack a bag and go back to my parents' place. I don't need to hear how I've disappointed them. Not from people who can't admit when they've hurt someone. James keeps texting, says he misses me, says he just wants things to go back to normal. But he also says I owe his family an apology. That's the part I can't get past. Not a word about what he did. No ownership, just a desire for the reset button. He even emails me, like this is 2004, I deleted and read. I keep turning it over in my head. Why does he act like this? Is it just his family? Is it me? I don't think he hates me. I think he's terrified of being the odd one out. Terrified of not getting that nod of approval from his mom. Or of being the guy whose wife makes things awkward. But I'm not shrinking myself so he can play the good son. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm in my old bedroom. My mom's overfeeding me. My sister keeps texting me girl boss memes like it's her full-time job. Jess checks in daily to make sure I haven't backed down. James keeps trying new numbers. I keep blocking them. And the silence is finally starting to feel like peace. There was a moment, somewhere between blocking the fifth number James texted me from and scrolling through my screenshots where I genuinely started to wonder if I was overreacting. Like maybe I was being dramatic. Then I reread the memes, the DMs, and Marissa's little meltdown. Yeah. No, not dramatic. Just tired of being the family chew toy. Yesterday afternoon, James's mom texts me, invites me to a family dinner at that Italian place they all swear by, the one with the wobbly chairs and the garlic bread people nearly fist fight over. She says it's to clear the air and move past this unfortunate drama. I almost laughed, almost. Instead, I text my sister, wanna be my emotional support human at a weird dinner with my maybe-in-laws? She replies, hell yes. So we go. Jess is blasting chaotic indie pop, and I'm in the passenger seat scrolling through my notes app, rereading everything I might want to say if I don't lose my nerve. I hover over the delete button at least 3 times before Jess grabs the phone and says, you better not let them gaslight you into thinking you imagined this. They don't get to rewrite what they did. She's right. We get to the restaurant. Everyone's already there. James gives me this half smile like we're about to do something cute and civil. I give him nothing. The table starts with awkward small talk. James's dad is talking about his car battery like it's a major life event. Someone else brings up the weather. I just nod occasionally, running my finger along the edge of the menu. It's all theater. We're just waiting for the curtain to rise. Marissa's wearing oversized sunglasses indoors and whispering to their aunt like she's in a soap opera. No one mentions the baby shower, but the tension is so thick. It could be cut with one of the butter knives they keep forgetting to bring. After drinks hit the table, James's mom clears her throat like she's about to deliver a TED talk. So, we're hoping we can all just move forward and get back to normal. Normal. Right. I glance at Jess. She raises an eyebrow and leans back, arms crossed, waiting. For a second, I consider staying quiet, letting it slide like I always have. But then I feel that anger again, not hot and explosive, but cold and sharp, like clarity. So I pull out my phone. Actually, I say, I made a list. James's mom looks confused. Marissa groans. I start reading. Let's start from the first time I met you all. Here's a list of things that have been said to me over the last 3 years, just so we're all on the same page. Things you joked about, dismissed, or said you didn't mean. I pause. You laughed at me. Not with me. You made me your punchline and didn't care if it hurt. Marissa mutters, oh my God. Are we seriously doing this? Yeah, I say. We are. Then I look right at James. You want to talk about normal? Fine. Let's talk about how you told me last month that you weren't sure about having kids because you didn't want to risk them turning on you. About how you said you weren't ready to feel tied down, but somehow you're ready to sit here and act like I'm the one tearing the family apart. James opens his mouth, then closes it. His mom jumps in. You don't need to come in here and act like you're the only victim, Talia. I respond. Then stop treating me like the villain just because I stopped laughing at your jokes. She stands up like she's about to come around the table, but Jess stands too quick, calm, solid. Marissa mumbles something about me being unhinged. Jess cuts her off. Try me. Sit down. James's mom snaps. This is enough. You're tearing this family apart. I look at her and say, no, I'm pointing out what's already broken. You want respect, but you don't give any. You demand loyalty, but you weaponize it. And I'm done being polite while I'm being picked apart. James reaches for my hand like it's still salvageable. I shake him off without a word. I say, don't touch me. James stands up, voice tightening like he's trying to keep it calm but already losing the grip. You're really throwing all of this away over a few jokes. I look him dead in the eyes. No, I'm walking away because you don't respect me, and neither does your family. That's when Marissa slams her palm on the table. You're just jealous you're not one of us. I laugh. Not the polite kind. The real exhausted kind. Thank God for that. Jess puts a steadying hand on my shoulder. We turn toward the door, and that's when James follows us into the lobby, saying my name like it means something now. Talia, come on. Just let's talk. Can we just talk? But I don't look back. Jess and I keep walking. Honestly, I thought that dinner would be the end of it. A horrible, loud, slightly overpriced full stop. But of course it wasn't. Because nothing is ever just done with James's family. I've been sitting on this update for a few days. Every time I think the dust has settled, someone else kicks up a little more. So, here's the final mess. It's not clean, not cinematic, but it's real. The next morning, I wake up to notifications. So many. Missed calls, long texts, DMs from numbers I don't recognize. All saying some version of, "You didn't have to go that far. Please talk to me. We can be reasonable about this." I mute my phone. My mom comes into the room. "You okay?" I say. "Yeah, just tired." She makes waffles. I don't help. I just sit there, letting the heat from the plate warm my hands. Not hungry, but somehow comforted. I plan to spend the rest of the day doing absolutely nothing. But James's mom has other ideas. She texts my mom, says I'm destroying the family, yes, those exact words. Says James is so lost without me. Asks if she can talk some sense into me. Like I'm a rebellious teen skipping curfew, not a grown woman who finally hit her limit. My mom reads the message, sighs, and doesn't reply. She just flips another waffle and says, "You're not the one tearing anything apart." Later that day, I drive back to the apartment with Jess. We pack up the last of my stuff. Just the sad leftovers. A hoodie, 2 mugs, my extra charger, and that awful framed photo his mom gave us for Christmas. I leave the spare key on the counter and slam the door just hard enough to be heard. Later, James texts, "You could have at least said goodbye." I leave it unread. I keep expecting some big, dramatic move, a grand gesture or angry voicemail or him showing up outside my job. But nothing, just silence. He fizzles out like flat soda. 2 days later, I get the final boss text. A 3-page monologue from James's mom. She tells me I never understood family, that marriage is about forgiveness, that I'm ripping James apart, that I clearly never intended to stay long term. I read it once, then I let it sit there, blue bubble and all, left on read. A friend texts, "Want to talk about it?" I say, "I'm good, thanks." People say they want to listen, but most of the time they're just figuring out which side to pick. Not interested. The apartment hunt is a nightmare. I forgot how soul-sucking it is. Everything's either tiny, overpriced, smells like mildew, or all three. I finally find a place I like, but there's a 2-week wait. So I'm back at my parents' house for now. My mom keeps offering to invite someone over for dinner, her gentle way of nudging me out of emotional hibernation. I keep saying, maybe next week. One afternoon, I'm picking up groceries for her, sitting in the parking lot scrolling my phone. And there it is. Another text from James. "Please talk to me." I was just joking. I don't even get mad. I don't roll my eyes. I just take a screenshot. Then I close the app. No rage, no tears, just done. I send the screenshot to my sister and Jess. Jess replies, "He's really still on that." My sister says, "Send him a clown emoji." I think about ignoring it. Honestly, that would have been cleaner. But something in me wants to end it clearly. So I reply, "So was I was just pretending to be your wife." No reply. I block the number. Done. Later that day, I tell my mom. She hugs me tighter than usual, doesn't say much. Just holds me for a beat longer like she knows that meant more than it looked. My sister bakes a cake that says "Congrats on your divorce" in pink icing with way too many sprinkles. I laugh so hard I almost drop it. James will probably always think he was the one left behind. Blindsided, misunderstood. His mom will keep telling people I never really tried. Marissa will be posting snarky memes in group chats until the day she dies. And honestly, that's fine. Because I stood up. I walked away. I got out.